Oh, okay. Shalom Aleichem. So we're a few days before Shavuos, but we're lucky. The Sfat goes through all of Parshas Naso, and he says everything has to do with Shavuos. It's interesting. What's in Parshas Naso? So there are several interesting mitzvahs. Nazir, the mitzvah of Nazir, has to grow his hair and can't be separated from wine and all that, and be holy. The Nazir, a continuation of last week's parsha about the camp of Israel, and the flags, and a special mitzvah with the camp that last week we read about. Who's in the north, who's in the south, and the Mishkan and the Levi in the middle. In our parsha we have a mitzvah to keep the camp clean. What does that mean, to keep it clean? To keep out anybody who is tamei. People who become tamei, whether it's their fault or not their fault, but they have to temporarily leave the camp for that week till they become tahor, and then they can come back. Now, and then we have the Birkat Kohanim in our parsha. We have the mitzvah of the Sota in our parsha. These mitzvot that have to do with the camp of Israel, the purity of Israel, the camp of Israel. So we'll learn how that's connected to Matan Torah, to Shavuos. So the Sfat brings a medrash on the mitzvah of sending out all the Tmeim from the camp. From the camp of the Mishkan, we send out all the Tmeim. From the camp of Levi, we send out only people who are more higher levels of Tumah. And from the camp of Israel, we send out all Tumah for the purity of the camp of Israel. Okay. Now, Bamedrash, the Sfat quotes the Medrash. Vayishlochu min hamachane, send out from the camp. Hago sigim mikesef. The Medrash compares sending out the tamei from the camp like silver, like how do you say, purify? When you purify silver, getting all the dirt out of the silver. What's it called in English? When you take the silver and you cook it, so you take silver out of the ground, and there's mixed with dirt. You cook it, you burn it, and then all the dirt, all the schmutz comes out, and then you have pure silver, gold. So he says that's what's happening to the Jewish people at the camp of Israel. We have Tumah, we have people who are Tamei, and when we put all that Tumah on the side, then we have a pure camp of Israel. We reveal a pure people. And as we'll go on to learn, this is a lesson for all of us, how by putting aside all that impurity and all that schmutz that we have, then we reveal our pure selves. So he says like this. So where should we start? So
I have a request if all possible, if the Slavans have any teachings about that called
oh, well, maybe you could share your. Go ahead. You can share some teachings. Anyway, okay. Well, I'm sure it'll all fit in. Don't worry. Okay. Now, so this is very interesting. The Sfat It's going to connect all of this to Matan Torah. He says, Ha'inyan b'yetzias Mitzrayim v'kabbalas Torah. When the people of Israel came out of Egypt and received the Torah, Nisrapu mikol mumin v'tuma. We were healed from all blemish and all tuma. V'nasim kelim lavodas abore. We were clean vessels to serve Hashem. Now, ukamoshap solas v'tarovas moneh shleimus hakli. Now, if you have a vessel of silver, of gold, if there's any blemish, if there's any dirt, anything else mixed in it, it's not a good kli, it's not a good vessel. So here, kamo kain al yedei shleim, that's why we have a mitzvah in our parsha, to send out from the camp all those who are impure. Shalidei skalus b'nei Yisrael ba'achdus ispardu poli avon. So now he's saying something interesting. He's dealing with an interesting problem. We seem to be sending people out of the camp. All these people who aren't perfect. All these people are dirty or not perfect. So how does that work with Achdus, with the Jewish people being one? So he says like this. He says the whole point of this is for Achdus. But by the children of Israel becoming one together, automatically anybody who's not part of that will leave, will separate. Now, so obviously we're not talking about kicking people out of the Jewish people. They're going to come back in a week. Obviously, these are members of the Jewish people, but people who need a little bit of fixing, they have a problem with Achdus. If these people are sent out of the camp, obviously it's not, there are other punishments. It's not a punishment. They didn't really do anything wrong. But this is a way of purifying the Jewish people for them, of course, to come back into the camp. It's all. The whole purpose is they can come back into the camp and to be a better one, to be a real klal. Now, the emes ke'en shi'ur lezeh ha'achdus. This whole idea of being one, there's more and more and more of being one. There are many, many levels of being one. Just because we're one people, that doesn't mean we can even be more of more of a oneness, togetherness. B'yesh machane lefnimi machane. And we have camps inside of camps. We have the camp of Israel, the camp of Levi, and then the camp of the Mishkan, and many levels of Tumah. Now, Aklal, so what's the general rule of all of these forms of Tumah and all the camps and the purifying of all the camps? Hagam she'alidei achet chazru liyosavim mitzrayim. Now this is a continuation we started off with. When we left Egypt and received the Torah, nobody was tamei, nobody was ill, nobody was all these forms of tumah, of leprosy. Everybody was healthy. But then it comes back. When we sin, it comes back. But there's a difference. So he's telling us a very important teaching. There are two forms of impurity. When we left Egypt, automatically we were all clean. We started fresh. Nobody was impure. Nobody was ill and tamei. And then afterwards, of course, we sin. We go up and down. It comes back. But there's a big difference. Hefresh yesh. Shemikodem hayat harovas be'etzem. This is a very important teaching. There are two forms of impurity. Before we had Matan Torah, if we had any problems, any impurity, any bad midos, all that schmutz, it was really part of us. We really had a problem. But we left Egypt, Hashem cleaned us from all of that, purified us from all of that. We don't have all. Am Yisrael doesn't have any of that anymore. V'nikru b'nei chorin, and we're free. We're free from all of that impurity, all of that bad, all of those blemishes. It's certain that we were purified from all of that. We are pure people. That's Aleph. Oh, v'zeh haremez shenisrapu min haTorah, shelo yevsu min hachigirin. That's connected to the teaching that we have that on Matan Torah there were no physical illnesses. Nobody was blind. Nobody was limping. Anybody who was ill, who had some sort of illness, was all healed at Matan Torah. So that's all the same teaching, that we were clean. We came out of Egypt, we were clean. Oh. Then Umasha Chazra Al Yedei Achet, but we know what that afterwards, after we left Sinai, now we have sins, we have illnesses, we have all these problems, we have problems to deal with. We're not angels. So there's a big difference. Hu Bamikre. He says this is very, very interesting. This is a very important rule. There are two types of illnesses. There are two types of impurity. Two types of problems, all of our midos problems. Before we left Egypt, before we became Am Yisrael, we had serious problems in midos, in impurity. We had all those problems. Now Hashem healed us. He put us in a mikveh, came out tahor, we're clean. But then we sin again and it comes back. Nothing is for free, nothing is instant. There's a big difference. It's a very important, there's a very important rule that from now on, after we became the Jewish people and received the Torah at Har Sinai, all of our problems, whether it's bad midos, whether it's aveiros, whether it's impurity and all that schmutz, it's not really us. It's not really us. It's something we do, it's a problem we have to deal with, but inside, we really are a pure people. And we have to know that. It's very, very important to know that. Because if we know that, then it's going to be a lot easier to deal with all these problems. We can't let these problems mix us up to believe that we really are bad. We have to know that we really are a holy people, a pure people. When we stood at Har Sinai, physically and spiritually, we were clean. We were clean. Now, afterwards, we look at ourselves and we're not so clean. That's all on the outside. It's like this shell, this schmutz, that's all around us, on us. But inside, we're clean. And so it's a lot easier to deal with it, to do tshuva.
Does that include the ego?
Possibly even the ego. Maybe even the ego. We were clean. We came out of Egypt clean. If we sin, we do all that schmutz. It's schmutz that's on us, on the outside. We can go take a shower and get rid of all that schmutz. That's the general rule we're learning now. This is a very important rule for us to know. I don't know how it works out, in each little thing, but the general rule is very, very important. This is a very important rule in life. And it obviously, of course, it helps us deal with all those problems. As soon as we understand that we are not bad, we are good. We accept that we are really pure and holy and all that. Then it's much easier to deal with all our problems. They see. But if we don't know that, then we look at ourselves in the mirror and we say, oh, who is this disgusting person, this terrible, hopeless person? So this teaching is very, very important. Now we know that that's not true. That's all. That's the Yetzer Hara talking. The truth is we are pure. And we are one people. One pure people. If it seems that we're not pure, and it seems we're not one people, we seem to be divided and fighting, that's all on the outside. But it's not the real truth. And now he says a very important teaching, which comes out of all of this. It's very, very important. This is very, very important to know. Now that we understand that really we're good, really we're pure and good. We sin, we have all these problems. It's not really us. It's not really the Jewish people. So because of this, there's a very, very important mitzvah. The minute we have achdus, the minute the Jewish people achieve achdus, that we come together as one, automatically, it's going to take care of basically all of our problems, most of our problems. The more achdus we have, the more problems we will take care of, because we are really good. We are pure. All those problems, all the tumah and impurity and schmutz that we have, that's all on the outside. But when we come together as a people, receiving the Torah, then it's going to be so easy to deal with that. And almost automatically, it'll all get cleaned up. Because we're good. On the inside, we're good. We're all good. As a people, all of us together, we're good. Just we sin. So it seems as if we're bad. We look at ourselves as bad people, but we're not. And he says that has to do with achdus. The more we understand that we're one, then we're going to be healed physically and spiritually. And he connects that to Shabbos. And Shabbos, where we become closer to that oneness as a people, we come closer to the oneness of Hashem. And every Shabbos we get back some of that light from Sinai, that we were standing as one people in the Har. The one people that we really are. We come back to the one people that we really are. The more we get to that, reach that, the less Yetzirah we have, the less Tumah we have, the more we become our real selves. So what he's saying is, Vayishluchu min hamachaneh is a beautiful teaching now, but to put it all together, all this is explaining what we started off with. The mitzvah of sending all the tumah out of the camp. Now, so we have the camp of Israel. We have different levels of tumah, different levels of spiritual schmutz. So we have to get out. Some have to go further, some less. But we're actually only sending the schmutz out. Because now that we understand this basic teaching that the Jewish people as a whole are clean. We were at Har Sinai, we were cleaned. Any problems we have isn't really us. So we have to. We're not really sending the people out of the camp because the people come back in a week. It's only 1 or 2 weeks the Mitzvah comes back. We're really sending the schmutz out of the camp because the camp is only a camp pure. And that's the teaching. That's really the teaching of Har Sinai. That's what Shavuos is about. Standing together as a people at Har Sinai, that it did something to us. It changed.
And that was when we said Naaseh the mission.
Yeah.
We accepted.
When we accepted it, we became a different people. We became a holy people. From that moment, we are pure. Even if we don't act, we don't behave like that, that's just the way we behave, something we have to fix, but it's not really us. And the more, and the extra chiddush, Sfat is saying, it works both ways. The more we have achdus, the more we can come together and understand each other, and automatically we're going to be pure. And of course, the more we purify ourselves, the more we will have achdus and understand each other and be together. So this is really, the more we understand this and learn this, the more we'll understand the lesson of our parsha of the camp of Israel, the importance of the camp of Israel. It's not just, the best way to survive in the desert, you on the north, you on the south, Levites here. It's a lot deeper. It's becoming a people. And becoming a holy people, becoming Am Yisrael. What we see in our parsha the people of Israel camping out in the desert are pure people, and anybody who has a little bit of tumah has to stay out of the camp. This is teaching us that as a people, and each one of us as part of that people, we are pure. If we don't realize it, we don't see ourselves, we look in the mirror, we don't see ourselves pure, just because we can't see that. But this is one of the basic teachings that we all have to keep for our whole lives. So this is like one of the most powerful teachings that we see it again and again in the Torah. The basic understanding that we are a holy people. We are pure. And if we don't see that, it's just because we can't see that. But we have to really be strong about that amunah that we are. Whether it's the way we look at ourselves, the way we look at the other people that we know. We can't forget this teaching. We have to live with this teaching. We are really good. We're a holy people. And if we don't see it, we don't understand it, just because we just can't open up our eyes and see it. But it's there.
And this is when we say every day we say our soul is pure. That's what this is. Right?
That's also connected. That's the same idea. We are good. Everybody will tell you that. It's basic psychology today, but this is Torah. If somebody will tell you, you're a good person, you're going to say, but I'm not, I'm disgusting, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. But this is the Torah telling us. Am Yisrael, when we stood at Har Sinai, we came out clean. And even when we fell again by the eagle, or afterwards, it's not the same.
Doesn't it sound a little bit like almost the opposite? Like if we were clean, why would they have to leave them out of the camp? I mean, I understand how the teaching is derived from that, but like, if that was a mindset then as well, then why did they have to separate people from that? Pure and impure. It's kind of
No, that's very important. That's also very, very important. Nothing is for free. Nothing is taken for granted. So we're a holy, pure people. That means we can get away with anything. That means we're always going to be holy and pure, everything we do. No. So he's saying, of course, we have lots of problems. We have impurity. But that's something, he says, that's something on the outside. So by going out of the camp, you're going to be there for a week and you're going to come back because you are really pure. And only if you really understand that, and if you don't send people out, nothing is for free. Nothing just happens. If we don't send that tumah out of the camp, if we don't work on it, it won't happen. We won't be a holy people. We have to be strong about it. We have to know what is impure behavior, what is impure about us. So this is pure, and this is not pure. This is a holy camp. This is the way the camp of Israel, the Jewish people, should be. The camp that's receiving the Torah. And it won't just happen. If we don't have that life of purity, we won't have the camp. We won't have that one camp.
They also needed it. Like, you need to have that. I mean, they don't need to, but they need the instant punishment in order to have, like, the busha, or, like, not being, like, now, like, we got started at the time we said Lashon Hara, no, it was Lashon Hara, but because we have no consequences to it, we just say, and, like, nothing happens, like, we all continue saying on a constant basis. If we had consequence to it, we'd, like, feel a lot worse. Like, they learned to stop doing it because of the consequence right away. It made them more pure people.
So what are you saying? I don't understand.
I'm saying, like, the punishment was needed. Like, they needed to have an instant punishment because with the instant punishment, it stopped them. They became, like, embarrassed from it. And when you're sent out to the camp, they had to be, like, the ones odd ones out. So when you stop being odd ones out, like, you have to. They need impurity so they can, like, consistently stay pure.
Yeah.
Like, they need the busha, they need the punishment. I don't know, I'm distracting myself.
Yeah. Well, certainly that's it's all a way to come back. The leaving is really.
Yeah, it's needed so you can come back. Like, you need to go down or to go up sometimes. You need to do that in order to, like, have a better clean slate. Like, you need it.
Yeah.
It's good for them.
Certainly, it's good for that individual and it's good for the camp. To be out that week for the Mitzorah, to be out there in the desert, it's for his sake and for the people's sake. If he would just stay in the camp, and that would be a fake achdus. Yeah, stay in the camp with your impurity, then it wouldn't be a real camp. We wouldn't have, if we don't have that, then what makes us one? It all goes back to Kabbalah Torah. We only became one when we were standing at Har Sinai and receiving the Torah. But if we don't live a life like that, then we just don't stay one. We just break up. So the condition is to be strong about that, the purity of the camp.
It's off topic, but what can I don't understand? The souls are given, they are pure.
What?
The souls are given, they are
Yeah,
pure.
yeah.
They go through the sea, they are pure. They got the Torah, they are pure. Where does the unpureness comes from? Everything is pure, everything is pure. So where, from the systematic, so I ask.
Yeah, that's a good question. No, that's a good question.
They stay together in the camp, everything is organized, everything is best. All they are pure, so now from where does the unpureness of these people come? They need to stand out.
That's a good question. It's a very deep question. So
what was the question?
If everything is pure, the entire camp is pure.
Right.
From where does the unpureness come? In the camp, that they need to, but everything is pure. The soul is pure. They have the Torah. They're organized. Everything's
But
best.
that's the power of free choice. That's like the power of free choice is the fact that we can make anything. Like we can make it pure everything. So, like we can do anything. We can. God makes it pure, but like we as humans can destroy that. That's our power of free choice. That is exactly what free choice is. No, sorry.
No. No, that's very important. That's very important. No, Lamaisa, to understand this teaching, this is one of the most basic and fundamental teachings of the Torah. To understand what we are, that we really are pure. Our real essence is really pure. But of course, we have free choice, and we can do things that aren't pure. So we have to understand how it works. On the one hand, we're pure. On the other hand, we become impure, and those impure have to leave. So we're asking is a very important question. How does it, decide? Are we pure or not? If we're so pure, then how can we become unpure? Okay, this is something really to really learn it up. But maybe we'll get more into. The more we get into it, we'll see how it works and what it means for us. What it means for us. Just it's we don't want to just have this vague idea. We are pure. In space. We want to see. We want to really see what it really means. How can we actually picture it and use this teaching? Now, okay. What did you want to get to? The Berkas Kohanim?
Yeah, but we don't get to.
Okay, this is, but this teaching, but we have to, the Shem Sop will try to get as much as we can out of this teaching of what we really are, that we're really pure, and how it can change our lives. What does it mean for us, Lamaisa?
And actually, curiosity, they can keep it like pure, like perfect. Like our goal is not to be perfect. Because perfect is divine, like perfect is God. So we're not. Our goal is to become as most perfect as possible. But like our goal is not to be perfect.
Well, that's a very deep question you're asking now. What is exactly our goal?
To be as perfect as possible.
Strive for it.
Okay.
But never get there.
Okay. These are deep questions. These are deep. So
Knowledge.
no.
I don't think it's fair to like. I mean, obviously, if you do something wrong, you have to get punishment for it. But I don't think it's fair to like expect them as a group to be perfect when the goal isn't to be perfect because it's not possible. Because if you were perfect,
it's not possibly perfect. Yeah,
it's not
of course.
possibly perfect if they were perfect to be God. So they get punished on a constant basis, and they have to be treated differently because they weren't perfect. But then they're not supposed to be perfect. So it's like a kind of a lose-lose situation.
Okay. So you're right. These are very important questions to really bring these teachings down, down to earth, which what the Sfat Emes tries to do always. Our neshamas are pure, but how can we actually picture that and grasp it? So maybe let's go like a few more steps to these teachings. Maybe we'll be able to get more of it. With Hashem's help, we'll get something we can hold on to. Now, okay, so what does it mean that we're pure? What does it mean for us? So, in general, it means it gives us a lot of hope. It gives us we have this thing we can strive for, and we'll get there. Where will we get exactly? As much as we can grasp, we can't understand everything. We're not here to understand everything. We're here to fulfill it, to live a life of holiness, live a life of Am Yisrael. So you're right. So let's see what we can get from this. So let's go to another teaching. Maybe it'll become clearer. So we have a medrash. Yikarahi mipninim. Chazal say that the Torah, the Torah is priceless, even more than jewels and pearls. What does that mean? So Chazal teach us, Mimi shenichnas lefnai v'lefnim. The Torah, or people who study Torah, that's on a higher level than pninim, than lefnai v'lefnim, than the Kohen Gadol goes into the Kodesh HaKodashim, the holiest, purest place, perfect place. The Torah is on a higher level. And Chazal say even more, even a mamzer, Talmid Chacham, the most not perfect person, the most not perfect type of human being, is even more precious on a higher level than the Kohen Gadol who's perfect. So what do we do with this teaching? So what does this mean for? Obviously, so it's one thing we see here. The idea is not to become perfect. The path of the Torah, what the Torah is supposed to do for us and take us, the point is not to be an angel or to be a Kohen Gadol. There's something higher than that. We're worth more than that. What is that? So he explains like this. He says, Tzarech biur, im kein, so he asks a question. If you're saying that the Torah, or people who learn Torah, Talmid Chacham, is more than a Kohen Gadol who goes into the Kodesh Kodashim, so that Talmid Chacham should be able to walk into the Kodesh Kodashim. If this person walks into the Kodesh Kodashim, he gets death penalty immediately. But you say he's holier than the Kohen Gadol. So what's the pshat? So what's going on? So he works it all. It all works out. He says, "Va'inenu ki seder avodas b'samigdash b'chinas avdus sheish banim v'avadim." We all know there are two paths. There's banim, we are children of Hashem. Va'avdus, we are servants of Hashem. Servants of Hashem. Eved, a slave, a servant. Yesh chilukim avadim b'sarim. There are higher slaves, lower slaves, more important slaves. The more the slave does, the higher his position is, the more important he is, the better he is. But children aren't like that. By children is different. You don't have a more important child, a child is a child. So he says like this. He says, the Kohanim who serve in the Beis HaMikdash, that's like Avadim. They're more important Kohanim, they're Leviim, there's Kohen Gadol. These are more important Eved, less important Eved. But the Am Yisrael who learns Torah, who keep the Torah, that's Banim, that's children. In children, it's all the same. A child is a child. A good child, a bad child, that's they're all children. The parent has the same love for that child, whether he's bigger or smaller, greater. Now, that's the difference. He says that's the answer between the difference between the Kohen Gadol and the Talmid Chacham. He says like this. He adds, "Ze gam hefresh bein Shabbos lemoed, Shabbos and Yom Tov." What's the difference Shabbos and Yom Tov? He says, Yom Tov is Avdus. Yom Tov, we are serving Hashem as if in the Beis HaMikdash. Or, Lekach Omrim Ata Berchatona Mikol Ha'amim. They say we were chosen and separated from all the nations. V'Hamitzvah B'al Yos Regalim. On Yom Tov, we walk up to the Beis HaMikdash, the holy place, like the Kohen Gadol goes into the Kodesh Kodashim. And then we do Tefillah and Avodah. Lefi Makom, Lefi Azman. This is very interesting. Yom Tov, first of all, is in a certain place in the Beis Hamikdash. In a certain time, it's on Pesach, on Shavuos. It's a special time. Aval Shabbos is all year long. Ubechinas Bonim, Chen Shabbos Ibekol Mashvaseichem. The Torah tells us Shabbos is everywhere on the planet. Wherever your house is, you have a Shabbos. You don't have to go to the Beis Hamikdash. Yom Tov, you have to be in the Beis HaMikdash. We all know, when you have a Beis HaMikdash, we're all going to the Beis HaMikdash. There, we can be a holy people. Shabbos, it's the other way around. We're a holy people by staying home, not leaving our homes. Because then we're banim. A ben, wherever that ben is on earth, is a child. We are children of Hashem on Shabbos. In a way, it's a higher level. We're showing a real closeness to Hashem, that even if we're not in the Beis HaMikdash, we're not on that super level, that purity, that perfect level, like the Beis HaMikdash, we're close to Hashem because we're really banim. But on Yom Tov, it's something else. We're showing that we're close to Hashem because we walk up to the Beis HaMikdash, to Hashem's house, and we do the korban. That's Eved. We're close to Hashem because we're serving Hashem. And the Kohen Gadol serves more and goes in more. He's closer. Kaviyachol. So this is coming to answer all the questions. He's saying like this, the question was, so why can't the Chacham go into the Beis HaMikdash, into the Kodesh Kodashim? If Hashem loves that Chacham more than the Kohen Gadol, so the answer is, it's two separate paths. The Chacham doesn't need the Beis HaMikdash. It doesn't need to be in a certain place or a certain Yom Tov. It's all year long, every week, every Shabbos. That's Torah. That's the path of the Torah. That's what we got at Har Sinai. We became banim. Whether we behave, whether we don't behave, we're children. We're children who don't behave. But Avadim, Kohanim, in the Beis HaMikdash, only if we're Kohanim. If we behave. That's a certain level that certain people are on. And in a certain place. Now, and he says also that's Naseh v'nishma. On Shavuos we said Naseh v'nishma. We'll do and we'll hear. So he said the Kohanim do. They're servants who do their actions, and that's all. And they have to do it in a certain place, a certain time. It's not their panemius as much as Torah, which is nishma, as a child is. They're the avadim, the servants of Hashem, the officers of Hashem. But the whole Am Yisrael together, with the Kohen Levi Yisrael, that's banim. We're children of Hashem. Whether we serve Hashem or not, we're Hashem's children. That's nishma. We hear Hashem's voice. Now, u'bekabbalas HaTorah zachu l'shtei bechinos. On Kabbalas HaTorah, we got both. We were chosen as Hashem's special servants. Like we're all like Am Kohanim, Meleches Kohanim. But we also became Banim. That means even when we don't serve Hashem, we seem not to be pure and all that. We're Hashem's people at any level, in any place. Now he says something interesting, that even today when we're in Golus and we don't have a Beis HaMikdash, but we still have that nishma, we still have the Torah, we still have that kesher with Hashem. We don't have Nasa, we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. We're not always living, doing it, acting like it, but we have that Nishma. We know deep inside that we have that Torah. Mm. 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 So, mm. Mhm. 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 Now that this is so we have here is the basic teaching, just starting to like the pictures all coming together now. What we are, what Am Yisrael is. On one level, we're serving Hashem. We have a Beis Hamikdash, and the Kohanim will serve Hashem more. But then on the other level, we're banim. Whether we serve Hashem or not, and that goes back to what we talked before about being perfect. What does it mean to be perfect? We're not supposed to be perfect. We can't be perfect. We're people. And obviously we sin. That's what we're learning about. You send out the tzarua, you send people out of camp. So how does it all fit together? So here the Hashem is telling us, he's making it clearer, it depends how we look at ourselves. If we look at ourselves as Hashem's servants, soldiers, then it all depends what level we're on, how close we are in serving Hashem. But there's a deeper level called banim, children of Hashem. That we both, he says, we got both at Har Sinai. We were chosen to be his avadim and to be his children. But when we sinned with the Egel, we lost a little bit of that. We were not Hashem's, we were not serving Hashem. So because of that, there are times when we don't have a Beis Hamikdash, we can't really serve Hashem as servants. We don't have Kohanim and Kohen Gadol. But the Nishma that we have the Torah, no matter where we are, no matter how far away we are from the Beis Hamikdash, we always have Torah, we always have Shabbos, we're always banim. Whether we behave like it or not, inside it's there. That's so we're not. It becomes out clear when you say being perfect. What does it mean to be perfect? Are we perfect? We're not perfect. Nobody claims to be perfect. We're talking about two different things. Our actions are not perfect. We have to fix that. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. But our neshama, our kesher with Hashem, we know the truth. Deep inside, we know the truth. That's what we say is perfect. Sometimes we can't hear it because we're not listening hard enough. But if we listen hard enough, we know the truth. It's there. It's in our neshama. That's always there. That we can't lose. If chas v'shalom we lose that, then we're b'chalal, not part of the Jewish people. As long as we're part of the Jewish people, we have that. Especially when we have achdus, when we know what we are. The more we know what we are as a people, being the Jewish people, then we have that nishma, and then we'll be able to do it. But that's something we got at Har Sinai, to know deep inside, to know that we're banim.
So the analogy is, if you have children, no matter what your children do, they're still your children, and you still will love them. So Hashem, because we're always connected to, parents are always connected to our parents, and our parents connected to us.
Oh, the only way really to understand this, now these are words, it's a nice lecture, but the only really to picture that is from life. The only way we can understand this, if we understand people, what it means to be children, what it means to be parents, then we can really understand that connection. Nebuch, you have parents and children who don't have any connection, fight each other. You have that also, but that's not healthy. That's sick. But a real neshama, a real heart, a real human being has that kesher. So if the child doesn't behave, still a child, there still has to be that warmth and love. That's real. And that's something we got at Har Sinai. Without Har Sinai, we just decide to serve Hashem without the Torah, without Har Sinai. So what happens when we're not? So Nebuch, We're not. We're not pure. Now, by standing at Har Sinai, we were chosen. We have that inside. We're bunning. Whether we behave or not behave, but inside we're bunning. Now, if we have to be sent out of the camp, somebody has to be sent out of the camp because we're not behaving, we're not pure. That's only for a week or two. Afterwards, back in the camp. Because deep inside, we are bunning. We are pure. And this is really what Matan Torah is about. This is what happened at Matan Torah. When we said Nasi v'nishma, this is what we accepted. That we were chosen as children of Hashem, and nothing can stop that. And the more we see that, and the more we'll reveal it. We'll reveal all that's really deep inside of us.
And that we have free will, so we can do constitutional like
so that's what Emet said.
But we're still children of
and that we don't have free will. That answers all the questions. What about free will? We're not perfect. We have free will not. We have free will not to do. We can fight Hashem. We can worship idols. But on Nishma, we don't have free will. It's a beautiful teaching. We don't have free will on Nishma. We can't just not know the truth. We can hide from it. We can try to forget it, not think about it. But it's there. It's going to come back. The Nishma, we don't have free will. Because we're really children. It's there. It's going to come back. When? Sooner or later, it's going to come back. We don't have free will on Nishma to not know. We were at Har Sinai. Anybody who's at Har Sinai knows the truth.
So Nishma is more to know as opposed to hear.
To be knowledge.
It's like being a child on this earth. You don't have a choice. You just here.
Mm-hmm.
You're born. It's my parents.
Yeah.
I can't change.
You can't change it, and if a person doesn't feel that, that person is sick. It's a sickness. It's illness. It's not healthy. Animal. It's not. It's real, and nothing can be done about that. So it's not, it doesn't have to do with being perfect. Perfect is the wrong word. It all makes sense now. It has to do with being banim, being real children, being having that real connection that'll bring us back to Naseh, and it'll bring us back to do. We'll do and do and do, and that's what we want. The tachlis is to do, but it'll come back. We have the nishma. We're gonna do it. Now, so you wanted to learn about Birkas Kohanim? I don't know much either, but we can learn. So he says like this. And it's really, it's going to be connected to the whole Indian we're learning about. What is Birkas Kohanim? Yisa Hashem Panov. Hashem should favor us. And in Hebrew, in Lashon HaKodesh, that means special favor, even though we don't deserve. Even though Am Yisrael is sinning, but we have a special connection. We're nephews or children of, the president or the mayor. We're going to get special from Hashem, special forgiveness. So the Gemara asks the question, Uksiv asher lo yisa panim. Hashem is emes. No favors, no protectia. So it's a contradiction. Here we say in Birkas Kohanim, Hashem favors us, even if we don't deserve it. It says, Kan mokom, kan kashein. So the Gemara answers, when we're doing Hashem's will, Hashem favors us. When not. It all makes sense. Hashem is yashar. Hashem is true, real. If we don't deserve it, we don't get it. So the question is, that can't be what the Medrash means, because if we're serving Hashem and we're perfect, we don't need favors. So where's the favor? So it's like this. What it really means, Hashem isn't trying to do sheker, to do favors. Hashem doesn't need favors. Why should Hashem do favors? But this important teaching that we're learning again and again. But we have that inside, that inner point, that's good. Then it's real. When there's nisiat panim, when a mayor, a king, gives you a special favor, he looks at you, gives you a special, chesed. But the pasuk doesn't say panim; it says panav. What does that mean? Ushenosei panim liYisrael, shakaras paneim uchius elokim imal. He looks at Bnei Yisrael and he sees that in Bnei Yisrael we really banim. We really deserve it. So it really is a favor. When there are times when we don't deserve Hashem's protection because we're not behaving. So what does Hashem do? Hashem doesn't just favor us, something that's not real, something that's not yashar. Hashem looks inside of us and sees that we really are connected to Hashem. That little bit of that's still inside of us, that helps us get back to what we really are. Without Hashem's help, we won't get back. We won't get back to that tshuva. Now, we have to help. We have to do something. Nothing is for free. So what the Medrash is telling us, if we do a little bit, Hashem sees that we really have that inside, then Hashem does the rest. That's the Birkas Kohanim. That's the favor Hashem just gives us, favors us. Hashem favors us because we really have that deep inside of us. And if we make that choice, we have to choose. If we choose to come back to that, then we can come back.
So it's the receiving of it.
Okay, whatever that little bit is, he doesn't really tell us what that little bit is. Chazal say it's opening up this much. The Pesach of a Machat. You have to open a door. You have to pound through a wall to make a hole. So we have to make up a little needle, make a little hole, and then the rest will all open up. It's opening up to what we really are inside. If we understand that we're banim, then that's what the Birkas Kohanim is about. To see what we really are inside. To help us get back to what we really are, and all that is from Matan Torah. And the last, let's go back to the last part of Nozir. Same idea, Nozir. He says, now, Pele. The Nozir is called Pele. Something, a Pele, something, hidden in secret. And it, something wondrous, something beyond our comprehension. He says that is lizdabek koach adam lizdabek atzmo bekoach hashoresh shel kol davar. Now we can be living in this world, this mundane world, all these problems, all these ups and downs, but we have the koach to go inside that the real life, the pella, this hidden life under everything. Inside everything. Inside ourselves, inside our body, inside the world. Now, that's what the Nazir does. Now, when the Nazir separates himself from this world, he's not really separating himself from this world. He's really connecting himself to the real holiness and purity in this world. What the Nazir does, when he seems that he's separating from this world, but what he's really doing, he's going beyond, and he's seeing that inside everything, there's Torah inside everything, and by not being distrayed by everything on the outside, then he's able to reveal that, and that's something that we have, that we really have, what the Torah is about. What the Torah is about is, and that's what part of what we're receiving in Matan Torah, everything we learned till now, but revealing that what we really are inside. It's Har Sinai is about revealing what does it mean to accept the Torah. So Sfat goes on and on to tell us the Torah is not merely something that's just coming down from heaven. What Hashem is giving us at Har Sinai is showing us that there really is Torah in everything. It is opening up our eyes to accept the Torah, to see the Torah inside of us, to see the Torah in everything, that everything can be lifted up through the Torah. Now, the Nazir does that his way, by becoming a Nazir, with in a much more extreme way of just going to the holiness in this world. But in general, all of Am Yisrael, we have a task as Am Yisrael to live with the Torah in this world. Like we saw, on Shabbos, and Yom Tov we go to the Beis HaMikdash. The Kohen Gadol goes into the Kodesh Kodashim and connects with Hashem. We as Am Yisrael, through Torah, b'chol mashvaseichem, in all of our homes, not in the Beis HaMikdash, we're showing that in our homes we can reveal that special connection with Hashem, that we're banim, and it's there inside of us. It was always there, and that's what Hashem wants from us. If we not to run there to the Beis HaMikdash and to serve Hashem there, that's one job. The other task is to see that in our homes, in our own lives, that we could become a holy nation, a nation living all the ideals of the Torah. So all these teachings, this is really, now that we this is the preparation for Matan Torah, and this is really what we should, when we're going to be standing next Tuesday tonight receiving the Torah. So we have to really appreciate this. We're not just receiving the Torah there or then on Tuesday, but the Torah is about is here and now, in our lives, everywhere, all year long. We can really reach that level. It's there inside of us. With people, dealing with people, with our real selves, we can really reach a higher level. So with Hashem's help, okay. So with Hashem's help, we're gonna all these teachings of Naso. That would be good. This is something for now, for this year, every year. It's not something that was 3,000 years ago. These teachings are here inside of all of us. We never really lost it. We were at Har Sinai, and we saw, and we heard, and we did. So even if we're not doing, sometimes we're not behaving as a people, but the nishma, but we can hear it, we know it. Deep inside of us, we know it. We know that we're children, we're banim to Hashem. We know that we're really part of the Torah, that we're really pure. And if we don't see that, we're not doing that, so like we learned in the Parsha, we have to leave for a week or two, to go out, to understand that, what we're missing. And that's also important. That leaving is to come back, is to appreciate that even when we think we're outside, we think we're disconnected, that's also important. There's a reason for that too. To discover that we really were inside. So we should all this year should be the final year. We should all receive the Torah, receive the Beis HaMikdash, have it all, fulfill the Torah and the Beis HaMikdash all together speedily in our days. glad that you